The date was May 19th, 2018. This marked the start of a series of events that would change my life forever, and it all began with a domestic flight from Milwaukee to Chicago. So, I've already managed to work up a little bit of a sweat before the first flight, and also say hi to Lewis.
Hey guys, excited for this momentous journey we're gonna take together.
And then a flight to LA, and Hong Kong. We're relaxing in Hong Kong now, a little tired. You see, in February of 2018, I was offered the opportunity to become a volunteer English teacher in Nagasaki, Japan, through Guy Healy Japan's English Ranger program. Along with 9 other successful applicants, I flew to Japan with the goal of earning my TEFL certification and documenting my experience with the friends that I was going to make. This was my 5th time in Japan, but it was my first time in the Kyushu region. The other interns and I were given free accommodations at a group house that we called the Clubhouse. Good morning, it's my first full day in Japan and my first tough decision. They have Mr. Donut here, or I can go exploring and find breakfast somewhere else. I might go exploring. Over time, I'd grow to call it home, but I'm getting ahead of myself. It's locked. Is that the lock? We're locked in. My first week in Nagasaki was nothing short of extraordinary. Aside from seminars and prepping for our first trip to public schools, the other interns and I went on a few mini adventures. Today is an absolutely fantastic day to play frisbee at the Nagasaki Seaside Park. Finally started organizing my closet space and making it look like I actually live here. Today we are going up to Mount Nabe for a hike and to fly a drone. Woo.
Yeah, boy! Honestly, we should come back here with running shoes and...
What did you do? One word, describe this. The most special event during the first week was the Firefly Festival. Our director invited us to attend with her and her 3 sons, and the other interns and I were the only foreigners in attendance.
Oh, thank you.
We weren't even 1 week into the summer, and I was starting to feel like a local already. This is my life now, and it's pretty darn amazing. A few of the guys and I ventured to one of the malls in Nagasaki called Coco Walk on the weekend.
Alright team, let's shop till we drop.
And we did some shopping. Because I have a forearm tattoo and our team shirts were short-sleeved, my mission was to find a long-sleeve shirt that I could wear underneath the English Ranger team shirt. I was incredibly nervous about teaching at schools. In the past, I was a camp counselor at English camps in Tokyo, but teaching in a classroom setting scared me for some reason. Once we taught our first day of classes, I realized I didn't have anything to fear after all. Kyou wa tanoshii? Ureshii. You heard it from him. He said he had fun today. And I had a good time too. Not only did teaching English make me into a more confident individual, it also gave me a chance to make new lifelong friends. And we made so many great memories together.
Levon got cola.
Just cola. Cola. Ah, it's the spot. Oh, I was just ready to die. That was so bad.
Okay, for real, here's some of the things you could expect to do in your free time in Nagasaki as an English Ranger. Supposedly Mount Inasa has a very romantic feel to it, but this is a bro trip, okay? It's a bro trip to Mount Inasa.
Oh, okay, okay. Nicholas, no, no.
Today is beach day. Shirahama Beach Day. Aside from the beach, we had a barbecue and fireworks party. It's times like these that will hold a special place in my heart forever. We weren't just co-workers, we were family.
Just one.
So bright. Oh, mine's got a little Judy thing going on.
We took a day trip to Isahaya and now we're at Komikawa Keikoku. I think that's right. I think it's right. This place is so beautiful. My shorts are soaked. It's definitely worth it. Would do it again. 10 out of 10. Go leave on. Later in July, we earned our TEFL certifications, and 9 out of 10 of us flew to Nagoya to start the summer camp journey, which reimbursed our airfare costs. 2 of us had plans to return to Nagasaki in the fall, but everyone else had to say goodbye for the time being. Anyway, when we arrived in Nagoya, I met up with a couple of familiar faces from previous summers. I met John. John's right here. And we had a good time doing camp. They have a lot of good camp songs. We practiced camp songs on our way to the first campsite. And then I found out that I was selected to leave the team and experience the Fukuoka campsite called Global Arena. So once again, I returned to Kyushu for about 2 weeks and met a bunch of new people as well. I had 1 full day off in Fukuoka, so I spent it exploring Ohori Park. Eventually, I reunited with my original Nagasaki team in Hiroshima, which is where we spent the final week of our summer trip in Japan. We visited the Peace Memorial and enjoyed a day trip to Miyajima, and then we said farewell. Going back to America in less than a week, and I'll be back in Nagasaki mid-September. I returned to Japan 1 month later for the fall term internship, and on a team of 8, 6 of the members were completely new to Nagasaki. So I took the opportunity to show them around.
I have a question for you.
You bored?
Yeah.
Wanna go do something? So Colin, you gonna put RuneScape away soon and join us?
Alright, yeah.
Oni!
Yeah, I'm coming.
Alright, let's go. We experienced the Okunchi Festival, which takes place for 3 days, always starting on October 7th. The festival is meant to celebrate Nagasaki's multicultural diversity. The guys and I also took a day trip to Takeo for the Autumn Leaves Festival, which is something that I would highly recommend.
Nature is pretty great. I mean, it's incredible, but it's the perfect time for Colin to take a nap. It's perfect time for me to edit on my computer, for Oni to stare into space and think about whatever he wants, and for Will to play his Switch.
I love nature.
The fall passed quickly and we all geared up to return home for Christmas. I made plans to return for the winter term, but primarily to work on video projects as a top priority and teach private lessons rather than go to schools every day. This time around, there were only 4 interns living at the clubhouse, and we were all returnees from different years of doing the program. Well, 3 exhausting flights and a bus ride later, I'm back in Nagasaki. This is my first full day here, and it is currently 9:12 a.m. So I hope I'm beating jet lag, but more likely than not, I'm going to be exhausted again in the afternoon. I'm here at Suwa Shrine. It was one of my favorite places of inspiration to go to at any point during my previous trip. So if you find yourself in Nagasaki, I highly recommend Suwa Shrine. We took my drone up to Mount Inasa. This is the Inasa team. We have Ko, Elisa, and Julie. Yes. Hey! We also attended the Lantern Festival. I went on a solo journey to Gifu to meet up with one of my old friends and tour Shirahama with her for 1 weekend in February. The last time I saw Amanda was in Wisconsin in May, so I'm pretty excited to see one of my best friends again, here in Japan. Hey. Hello.
Oh.
We made it to the observation deck.
We did it.
Yeah. Towards the end of this trip, I had no immediate plans to return to Japan, and I left just as the cherry blossoms began to bloom. It was a bittersweet farewell to Nagasaki and all of the friends that I made while I was there. I know for the Japan saga, a lot of my videos have been more travel focused, and that's been great. It's been what I've been doing for the last 10 months of my life. No regrets. The last several months of my life been incredible. I really have. In July, I flew to Tokyo for a solo trip to check off some bucket list items and to visit friends again. We got the old Gifu squad back together for the Tanabata Festival. Here we go, it should be a lot of fun.
Oh yeah, there are way too many of them.
This is incredible. However, this trip was only for 2 weeks, and when I returned, it would mark the end of my Japan stories. For now. So here's my closing thoughts as I'm getting ready to leave Japan and fly home again. I do miss my family, but I wish they could be here with me right now. So someday I'll take them to all the places I've been in Japan over the last 5 years, and I can't wait until that day is a reality. I know I'll be back someday soon, and will most definitely share my stories. The English Ranger phase may be over, but I earned so much more than just a TEFL certificate. I made friends with similar goals from around the world, and I'll always be grateful for the time that we were able to share together.